Went down there to get food. It was some random guy had stolen a PD bike, and some other uninvolved parties just got curious about the bike that was left there. And one of them picked it up. It turned into tackle tase. Oh my God, you're under arrest. To one of their friends outside that did not see what happened, taking a gun out and start shooting. And then it turned into a massive shootout. So what I told Peters was, while you could obviously point at the person that decided to take a gun out and start shooting, you still got to also think about the fact that that could have been handled differently, and that was a location where civilians are conducting business, buying food, selling food, etc., etc., and was it worth it? You know, so, but I don't think it was like any heavy shit, to be honest.
Yeah. All right. I think it's all fine. Yeah, honestly, I just kind of wanted to check in and talk to you in a while.
Yeah, I think things have been pretty good. I've been kind of taking it easy the last 2 weeks. I think with the court center slowly opening up.
This is very exciting, by the way. You should be very proud.
Yeah, no, I'm very proud. I think I looked over the fucking thing earlier, and there was a bunch of people hanging out here. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's nice.
So I think the vision and what it's meant to mean, I think, is attracting a lot of folks, which I think is good, because I want to see the civilian population really start to build up.
Yeah. It's nice you're giving them a lot of opportunities here. Definitely what's needed.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's a good opportunity for people to try a different line of work. The way that I've kind of, you know, realized it in the back of my mind was, what do you call it? I think a lot of people have turned towards gangs as a consequence of not having any other option. And I'm hoping that this option becomes one in which people can say, well, like, you might be in a gang, but do I really need to go rob a bank, as opposed to, I don't know, work a stall, or, like, you know, become a mall cop, or the other various things that might be, you know, available here for people to enjoy themselves with. You want to hear my real big plan?
What's that?
I don't know if this is going to happen, but I'm going to ask for it anyways. You know how DOC's got a special train?
Yes.
I'd like a certain one for people that would do janitorial work over here.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've been thinking of a way of, like, how do you keep people in this facility and remove any guns? Because the biggest challenge is all it takes is someone to use this place to get hostages or do just really just low tier robberies, and then it spirals out of control. Now, I don't know if that's necessary, but it'd be an interesting route that I'm going to consider proposing forward, where when you go through a particular point of the, like a checkpoint or some shit, and a gun gets taken. I mean, maybe there's ways that they can sneak it through, but it wouldn't be too straightforward. A slight bit of a safe space.
I imagine any place that has a lot of foot traffic, people are going to go look for, potential hostages there.
Yes. And then it spirals. It's the, what do you call it? The, senior buns problem, right? Do you remember, like, way back when, probably when you were doing the, the skeleton crew shit, how often that place was fucking shot up?
I mean, it was constant. Like, everything happened there.
Yeah.
It was just back-to-back calls. You would go there for one thing, and then you'd be there for like 3 more hours dealing with like 2 or 3 more calls.
Yeah.
It was never ending.
Um. Yeah. So I'm trying to see if I can find some sort of happy medium solution so that people feel somewhat protected to live their lives instead of being in constant fear. Because,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
back then it was, I think part of it was that everybody had, nobody had guns, everybody had knives. So
true.
it's a little bit different of a situation.
Yeah. Um. Yeah.
Well, I think that this is great. I'm really excited to see what happens with it.
Um. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna try my best. I think the biggest thing is like a lot of the mall guys were talking about like, can they start clapping people? I'm like, I don't know if that's necessarily the solution. 'Cause I don't want to turn them into, people that crews end up farming for guns either. It's a tough
Yeah,
balance. Um, but
but I also don't think that you can control everything though. And
mm,
I think while like obviously you want to make this as like safe and efficient as possible, there are just certain things that, are out of your hands.
that is true.
Try not
Um,
to try not to overload yourself on, problems that you may never be able to fix.
yeah, yeah, no, I'm not pressing it too much. That's why I don't really talk too much about those kind of things with too many folks, because one thing leads to another, and all of a sudden there's a fucking rumor mill about something. That's why some of the things that might be happening here, I've been keeping in mum's word. Don't want to overexcite and overpromise.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I mean, what you got right now alone, I think is great. I think it's people are going to be able to do a lot with it.
yeah, I hope so. A lot of
Mhm.
talented folks coming together. The website is cracked. Like, it's pretty cracked. Like, once people start
Great.
logging in, I think they're in for a surprise. Um, so,
Well, what else is going on?
not too much. Still a little bit more legislative writing. Like I said, not like, with the, I didn't want people to have to choose between Los Santos and the holidays. So I've kind of put most developments on Court Center, just on hiring for now, and kind of taking a little bit of a, relaxed time. You know what I mean? Before the next thing pops off, whatever that might be.
Yeah.
Um, there's probably going to be some conversations surrounding marshals and their future. I don't want to go into the specifics because this is kind of in the DOJ space. I don't want to like kick off a rumor or anything like that, but I think the conversation's about more in the space of training rather than whatever the hell it was before.
I'm going to hear something crazy.
Hmm.
Barrett asked to speak with me a couple
Hmm.
nights ago. And he was like, he said that he wasn't involved with the martial audits, when they did the audits of the PD. He finally took a look at those reports and he was like, basically just like, the way that the questions were set up, he said it was basically targeted. Like the question started with, what do you not like about the LSPD? What do you not like about your high command? If you could remove them, who would you put in their place? Um, he said it was in his mind a witch hunt.
Oh yeah, I mean, I did you read
And
did you read my audit by any chance?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God.
And
They
he
audited
said,
me on day 2, saying I was stealing G6 money.
I think you told me about that. But it was validating, to hear that. I'm not gonna lie, just because I spoke with Weiss and Espinosa about it, and I told them my frustrations about the whole thing. Um, that it just felt all like extremely negative, and that they were kind of using this guise of, well, they were supposed to be feedback, and I'm like, I don't know how you can give feedback to comments like, well, she's a cadet, she doesn't know anything. Like, explain to me how you can be constructive about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. um I'm just, I'm relieved it's not like that anymore, you know
Yeah. I agree. I think the marshals believe that the way my read of it is, I think the marshals felt like they had to justify their existence by finding an enemy where there wasn't one, right? Instead of awaiting for there to be a reason to look into something. And they got so far down the rabbit hole, and with obviously all parties defending themselves, they saw it as an attack rather than the natural. These people are just defending themselves against accusations. But I think
but
we have an
they wouldn't
opportunity.
even share those accusations, which is the funny part about it. It's just, it was all kind of whispers and
Yeah.
few people telling me what's going on. But I don't know. I mean, it was nice to hear Barrett say that he was like, no wonder it was so rough for the PD. I mean, the marshals were just stirring the whole time. They were just riling people up.
Yeah. Oh, 1,000%. They yeah.
I'm not going to stand here and say like I did everything perfectly, because I didn't. Like, I definitely made mistakes, but it was nice to hear that, for once, it wasn't all mine and Peter's fault.
I think that you and Peters are still the best choices for the PD. I think with Redditch there, I think that was a good pick as well. Because if I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be honest with you, Daisy. I think PD being what everyone wants is an impossible task. It's no one can fix it.
No. But
But
it does feel,
I think
I
what
do
you
think
and
it's getting
Peters do,
better.
it is getting better. And it's going to take a long time. And I think the patience that you and Peters have is not something. Okay, minus his World of Warcraft addiction. I already gave him shit for that. But I don't think a lot of people are going to recognize the politics you still have to play today to maintain a PD.
Yeah.
So, I had my own cabinet question me about the Ruby shit. And I was like, why the fuck would I give a fuck? It's been like, my issues with her were like 4 months ago. Well, you're not going to let her change? You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
why would I go and question your decisions on that when I'm, God damn it.